Okay, so you want to own a home repair company. A homeowner has a leaking ceiling, a broken door, a damaged wall, a rotten deck board, a dead outlet, and a list of small jobs that have been ignored for 6 months. You send a technician, charge for labor and materials, and move on to the next house. The customer needs the work. The house is not going anywhere, and unlike a restaurant or a clothing store, you are not trying to convince anyone that a broken pipe is fashionable. The strange part is that demand can be everywhere, while profit is still hard to keep. A repair company does not really sell hammers, drywall caulk, or hours. It sells trusted labor at the correct place at the correct time with enough skill to solve a problem on the first visit. Once you see the business that way, the economics change completely. The United States has an enormous base of aging homes that constantly require maintenance. Harvard's Joint Center for Housing Studies estimated that the residential remodeling market remained above $600 billion in 2025 after a post-pandemic boom. In 2023 alone, owners spent about $105 billion on routine maintenance of owner-occupied homes, and professionally installed improvements represented more than 84% of improvement spending. Necessary replacement projects such as roofing, windows, and HVAC accounted for almost half of homeowner improvement expenditures. So the customer base is not the problem. The problem is turning thousands of unpredictable household problems into a dense, repeatable schedule that keeps expensive technicians productive. That is what a home repair company actually is. It is a routing business, a labor business, a trust business, and a local marketing business disguised as a toolbox. Imagine starting small. You handle drywall patches, door repairs, trim, minor carpentry, fixture replacement, painting, touch-ups, deck repairs, cabinet adjustments, caulking, weatherproofing, and dozens of other jobs that homeowners either cannot do or do not want to do. Larger work may include bathroom repairs, water damage restoration, flooring, windows, or remodeling. Licensed trades, such as electrical, plumbing, and HVAC, may require your own licensed employees, qualifying contractors, or subcontractors, depending on the state and the scope of the work. That last sentence matters because money alone does not give you permission to perform every repair. There is no single national handyman license covering the United States. State and local rules vary widely. California makes the point clearly. The contractor's state license board says that work requiring a permit using employee labor or costing $1,000 or more in combined labor and materials generally requires a valid contractor license. California also imposes specific rules on home improvement contracts and limits down payments. Other states use different thresholds, classifications, examinations, insurance requirements, and registration systems. Federal rules can enter the job site too. If your crew disturbs paint, in many homes built before 1978, the Environmental Protection Agency's Renovation, Repair, and Painting Rule may require firm certification and trained renovators using lead-safe practices. OSHA rules affect employee safety, including fall protection during construction work. Add workers' compensation, commercial auto insurance, general liability, payroll law permits local building codes and specialty trade requirements, and the casual image of a person with a drill becomes a regulated operating system. The first economic decision is therefore not which drill to buy, it is what work you will legally and operationally promise to perform. A narrow company can specialize in punch list jobs and general maintenance. A broader company can add licensed plumbing, electrical, HVAC restoration, or remodeling. The broad company gets access to larger tickets, but it also carries more certifications, inventory, scheduling complexity, vehicles, recruiting problems, and liability. Every additional service looks like another revenue stream. Operationally, it can be another business hiding inside the first one. Entry cost depends on which version you choose. A solo owner with one used van can start with relatively little capital. Once you build a multi-technician operation, the numbers change quickly. Each technician needs a reliable vehicle, tools, ladders, safety equipment, uniforms, phones, software access, and enough commonly used material to avoid driving to a supplier for every screw, hinge, valve, or tube of sealant. The office needs dispatching, customer communication, estimating, invoicing, payment processing, bookkeeping, insurance, and marketing. A franchise offers a useful benchmark for the scale of a professionally organized operation. In 2026, Mr. Handyman, part of Neighborly, listed an estimated initial investment of roughly $162,000 to $215,000, including a $67,000 initial franchise fee. That does not mean every independent repair company needs $200,000. It means a standardized, branded system with working capital setup costs, equipment, marketing, and franchise obligations can reach that range before the business has proven it can fill a schedule. Financing makes the entry price look easier. The Small Business Administration's 7A program can support loans up to $5 million for eligible businesses through participating lenders. A repair company may use debt for acquisition, vehicles working capital, equipment, or expansion. But the loan does not care whether a customer cancels Tuesday afternoon. Principal and interest remain due while the van sits in the driveway. That creates the first major illusion of the business. A van is not productive because it exists. A technician is not profitable because he or she is on payroll. Tools do not produce revenue because they are expensive. The entire economic machine works only when paid jobs are packed tightly enough into the day. Suppose one technician can complete 3 jobs in a day. If the average invoice is $450, the theoretical daily revenue is $1,350. That sounds excellent, but now introduce reality. The first customer is 20 minutes away. The second is 40 minutes from the first. A repair that was scheduled for 90 minutes exposes hidden water damage and takes 3 hours. The third customer wants an estimate but does not approve the work. A technician has to stop for a specialty part. Another customer sends the wrong gate code. The final appointment cancels after the van is already in the neighborhood. The schedule looked full at 8 in the morning. By 5 in the afternoon, perhaps only 5 productive labor hours were billed. This is the central trap of the home repair business. You sell time, but you lose time everywhere. Driving consumes it. Estimates consume it. Supply runs consume it. Callbacks consume it. Training consumes it. Unpaid troubleshooting consumes it. Customer conversations consume it. Warranty work consumes it. And the technician must still be paid for much of that time. The Internal Revenue Service's mileage rate is not a perfect measure of fleet cost, but it illustrates how real travel expenses are. In the second half of 2026, the business standard mileage rate rose to 76 cents per mile. A service territory that looks small on a map can quietly turn thousands of annual miles into a substantial operating burden before you count the opportunity cost of technicians sitting behind steering wheels instead of inside homes. This is why route density becomes more valuable than raw demand. 10 jobs scattered across an entire metropolitan area may be worse than 6 jobs in 3 neighboring zip codes. The smaller territory can generate less driving, more billable hours, faster emergency response, lower fuel consumption, and more chances to fit an extra job into the day. Once density improves, the same technicians and vehicles can produce more revenue without a proportional increase in overhead. That is operating leverage in plain language. You already paid for the van insurance dispatcher software and much of the technician's day. Filling one more productive hour can carry a surprisingly high incremental margin. Lose several productive hours, and those same fixed costs begin eating the company alive. Where does the revenue actually come from? The obvious layer is labor. A company may charge hourly by half-day or full-day blocks, or by flat-rate job pricing. Flat pricing can be powerful because the customer buys the completed result rather than watching a clock. It also transfers estimating risk to the company. If a 2-hour repair becomes a 5-hour repair, the customer may still pay the same quoted price. The second layer is material markup. A contractor purchases lumber, fasteners, fixtures, drywall, paint, trim, adhesives, hardware, or replacement components, and resells them as part of the finished job. The markup is not pure profit. Someone has to source the item, transport it, store it, handle returns, and absorb mistakes. The third layer is larger projects. A customer who calls for one damaged door may later need deck restoration, a bathroom update, drywall after a plumbing leak, or a long punch list before selling the house. These jobs can raise average ticket size dramatically. They can also create scheduling risk because one delayed project can occupy technician capacity that was supposed to serve several smaller customers. The fourth layer is recurring maintenance. Property managers, landlords, senior homeowners, real estate agents, and repeat residential customers can generate inspection visits, seasonal work, preventive maintenance, or priority service plans. Recurring relationships reduce the need to buy every job from scratch. A fifth layer can come from referrals and cross-selling licensed specialists. A general repair company that discovers a serious electrical or plumbing issue may refer or subcontract the work where legal and appropriate. At scale, a broader home services platform can monetize the same customer across multiple categories. That is one reason Neighborly is an important success case. The company began with one brand in Waco, Texas in 1981 and grew through organic expansion and acquisitions into a large portfolio of home service brands. By 2025, Neighborly reported about 5,500 franchises, 19 service verticals, 2.7 million properties serviced annually, and $4.6 billion in system-wide sales. The key is not that every franchise becomes highly profitable. Neighborly does not publish the profit of every local operator, and system-wide sales are not the franchisor's own revenue. The structural lesson is more useful than a profit claim. Scale allows the network to reuse customer trust training systems, technology, marketing, purchasing relationships, operating playbooks, and brand recognition across many local service territories. In 2021, when KKR agreed to acquire Neighborly, the platform already had more than 4,800 franchises and a broad portfolio spanning plumbing, restoration, electrical, cleaning, HVAC, pest control, inspection, and other services. Later that year, Neighborly acquired Pimlico Plumbers, a London service company that had grown from a second-hand van and a bag of tools into a business generating nearly $70 million of annual revenue and completing more than 100,000 service jobs a year. That is the scale flywheel. More jobs create better route density. Better density supports more technicians. More technicians allow faster response. Faster response improves customer acquisition and repeat business. A larger customer base makes marketing and technology more efficient. Those advantages can then support another service category. But scale also magnifies management mistakes. A poorly trained technician can create a callback. 10 poorly trained technicians can create a warranty department. One late appointment irritates one homeowner. A scheduling system that routinely creates late appointments can damage an entire local brand. Now consider labor. The Bureau of Labor Statistics reported about 1.5 million general maintenance and repair workers in May 2025, with a mean annual wage around $53,800. Specialized trades can cost more. Electricians and plumbers have median wages above $60,000 using recent BLS data, and the company's true employer cost is higher after payroll taxes, workers' compensation benefits, recruiting, training, paid travel, idle time, and supervision. This is why the hourly wage is the wrong number to watch. If a technician costs the company $35 for each paid hour, but only 60% of the day is billable, the labor cost per billable hour is already far above $35 before a van office advertising or insurance appears. At 50% utilization, the economics get worse again. A repair company can therefore be busy and still be underutilized. Phones may ring all day, estimates may be scheduled, vans may be moving, technicians may look exhausted. None of those things prove that enough high-quality billable work is being completed. Marketing creates another leak. The small contractor imagines that good work automatically creates endless referrals. Referrals are valuable, but a growing company usually needs additional lead sources: local search, paid ads, online marketplaces, neighborhood platforms, direct mail, property management relationships, real estate agents, repeat customer databases, and branded vehicles. Each channel has a customer acquisition cost. The dangerous moment arrives when the owner confuses revenue purchased from an expensive lead source with durable demand. If a marketplace or advertising platform sends a $500 job, but the business spends $150 acquiring the customer, drives 40 miles, pays a technician for 4 hours, buys materials, pays card fees, and later returns for a callback, the invoice can look healthy, while the job produces almost nothing. The customer also has bargaining power because comparison is easy. Search for a handyman or repair company in a large city and dozens of options appear. Small operators compete on price. Large brands compete on trust, response speed guarantees, and convenience. Marketplaces compete by owning the lead before the contractor ever meets the homeowner. The owner must decide which part of the relationship is actually proprietary. Is it the phone number the customer remembers, the technician they trust, the maintenance plan, the five-star local reputation, the property manager contract, the emergency response time, or is the company renting its customer relationships from an advertising platform, one lead at a time? That distinction becomes painfully clear in a failure case. Sears once had one of the largest home service machines in America. Its 2017 annual report described approximately 5,200 service technicians making more than 5 million service calls annually. Sears Home Services covered appliance repair, heating and cooling, home improvement, garage door work, roofing, windows, kitchen-related projects, and other categories. The service business had access to a famous national brand and relationships with nearly 30 million households. On paper, that is extraordinary route density and customer reach. Yet, the service engine lived inside Sears Holdings, a parent company with severe financial problems. In the first quarter of 2018, Sears Holdings reported a net loss attributable to shareholders of $424 million. Later that year, as the company searched for liquidity and asset sales, the home services business was among the assets management was trying to monetize. Sears Holdings filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in October 2018. The lesson is not that the repair network caused Sears to fail. It did not. The lesson is that even a valuable service operation can be damaged by the financing strategy, brand deterioration, and capital constraints around it. A home repair company is local, but it is not isolated from its balance sheet. If the owner loads the business with acquisition debt, overbuys vehicles, signs expensive leases, or expands into too many territories before demand is dense, the same trap appears on a smaller scale. The technicians may be excellent, and the customers may be satisfied, yet the company can still run out of cash. Cash flow is especially tricky because bigger jobs often require materials and labor before final payment arrives. Commercial clients and property managers may pay on terms rather than immediately. Credit card processors take fees, payroll happens every week or two, fuel is bought today, insurance premiums, debt payments, software subscriptions, and vehicle payments arrive on schedule. Profit on an income statement does not guarantee cash in the bank. Now build a one-year owner model. Assume a mature local company operates 5 service vans with 5 field technicians, 1 dispatcher, and an owner-manager. This is an illustrative model, not a claim about a specific company. Suppose the team completes enough small repairs and larger punch list jobs to produce $1.8 million of labor and project revenue. Material markup and supplied products add $200,000. Recurring maintenance and property management work contribute another $150,000. Total annual revenue is $2.15 million. Direct technician wages, payroll burden, and field benefits consume about $500,000. Materials and subcontracted specialty work take another $450,000. Vehicles, fuel maintenance, and fleet insurance cost $140,000. Marketing and lead generation require $180,000. Dispatch office, payroll, software, phones, bookkeeping, and payment processing take $210,000. General liability, workers' compensation, licenses, training, rent, storage, and miscellaneous overhead use another $140,000. Callbacks, warranty work, small tools, and damaged or lost materials absorb $70,000. After those costs, roughly $460,000 remains before owner compensation, debt service, taxes, and major reinvestment. Pay the working owner $120,000. Reserve $80,000 for vehicle replacement equipment and expansion. Assume annual principal and interest on startup or acquisition debt is around $60,000. The result is approximately $200,000 of pre-tax cash remaining for the owner beyond salary. That looks like a strong business. Now change one variable. Technician utilization falls. Demand has not disappeared. The market is still huge, but local competition increases, paid search costs rise. One experienced technician leaves, a replacement needs training, and the schedule becomes more scattered. Completed revenue falls 15% to about $1.83 million. Materials and some subcontracting fall with revenue, but not every cost moves. The dispatcher is still employed, insurance is still due, vans still exist, software subscriptions continue, advertising may even rise because the owner is trying to refill the schedule. Debt service does not care that utilization is weak. If direct variable costs decline by only about $200,000, while the rest of the cost base barely changes, that $200,000 owner profit can collapse toward break-even or turn negative. Nothing dramatic had to happen. No recession, no lawsuit, no hurricane, no bankruptcy. The vans simply spent more time driving and waiting and less time billing. That is why the best operators obsess over metrics that outsiders rarely see. Revenue per technician day, billable utilization, average ticket, jobs per day, drive time, close rate on estimates, callback rate, lead cost by channel, repeat customer percentage, gross margin by service line, technician turnover days to collect receivables and revenue by zip code. The map can matter more than the logo. A company earning $1 million inside a compact territory can have better economics than a company earning $1.3 million across an entire region. The first operator may complete more jobs per technician, respond faster, spend less on fuel, carry fewer vehicles, and generate stronger word of mouth because the brand is repeatedly visible in the same neighborhoods. The future of the business will push this further. Homeowners are aging along with the housing stock. The Census Bureau reported that the median age of owner-occupied homes was already 41 years in 2021. Older houses need more upkeep, while older homeowners may increasingly pay professionals rather than perform repairs themselves. At the same time, high home prices and mortgage rate lock-in can encourage owners to remain in existing homes longer and repair them instead of moving. But a large market does not guarantee rapid growth. In July 2026, Harvard's latest leading indicator of remodeling activity projected that growth in homeowner renovation and repair spending would slow through mid-2027, reaching only about 0.5% year-over-year in the second quarter of 2027, with annual spending around $519 billion. That creates a more competitive environment. When the overall market is not expanding quickly, winning operators have to take share, increase, repeat business, improve routing, raise conversion, or add profitable services. Software can help with dispatching automated estimates, customer reminders, route optimization, technician communication, and follow-up. Artificial intelligence may reduce administrative work and improve scheduling. None of it fixes a bad technician, a weak local reputation, or a service territory that is too spread out. The physical work still happens inside someone's home. That makes trust an economic asset. A homeowner is allowing a stranger through the front door, often because something is already broken. The company that arrives on time, communicates clearly, protects the floor, explains the price, finishes the job, cleans up, and comes back when something goes wrong can charge differently from the cheapest anonymous provider. Trust reduces price comparison. Repeat customers reduce acquisition cost. Good technicians reduce callbacks. Dense routes reduce wasted time. Those advantages reinforce one another. This is why the visible tools are almost the least important part of the company. A drill can be purchased in an afternoon. A van can be financed. A website can be launched in a week. What takes years to build is a local network of trusted technicians, recurring customers, reviews, referral partners, route density, operating procedures, licensing knowledge, and enough cash discipline to survive the bad months. None of this means a home repair company is automatically a good or bad investment. Local wages, licensing rules, insurance costs, competition, financing service mix, and customer acquisition economics vary widely, and the figures in this example are illustrative. This is an explanation of the machine, not financial, legal, tax, accounting, or investment advice. So go back to the beginning. You thought you were buying a few vans, hiring people who know how to fix houses, and charging homeowners for repairs. What you were really buying was a local network that converts technician minutes into trusted billable outcomes. The house may be full of problems. The economics begin with how little time you waste fixing them.